Be sure to check out my new Instagram, Geekdom Big D. I will provide the link down below. Before I begin my review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 30, I want to tell anybody who's not subscribed yet to the channel to go ahead and subscribe, and I will be bringing you weekly, every single week after the show ends, I will bring you weekly Dragon Ball Super reviews, as well as all the news in Dragon Ball Super, as well as other content like Dragon Ball and Star Wars. So if you're watching this video from outside of my channel, log into YouTube, subscribe to Geekdom 101, and you will get the absolute best in Dragon Ball content. At least the best that I can do, which I hope is pretty damn good. Anyways, we have arrived at the 30th episode of Dragon Ball Super. This one's a little tough to pronounce. Kakuto shiaie no sarai. Nokori futari no memba wa dareda. That's not too bad. That translates to rehearsing for the martial arts match. Who are the two remaining members? As we continue the build-up to the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 Dragon Ball Multiverse Tournament. And guys, this episode was... I'm not too happy with this one. Hear me out. Let me explain to you why, alright? So, essentially, the first 9 minutes or so of this episode is pretty much a clip show. And then we have more of a clip show later on. They literally spent at least a third of this episode, maybe if you put all the time together, half of it, recapping stuff that we had just got done seeing 2 episodes ago. I don't know if it's because, I mean, we know it's been documented that Toei's got issues with finishing the show in time and that the animation staff is being pushed together, but I can't believe we're actually getting a Dragon Ball clip show. Drag On Ball is back, alright? Cause boy, this drag on. So, alright, so let's talk about it. The episode began, because there is some good stuff here, okay? The episode did not have a recap like we normally get at the beginning of every episode. It just jumped right into Goku and Vegeta flying to make their recruitment for the Universe 7 team, and Krillin catches up to them, then we get the title card. I thought that was very old school. I was very happy with it. A lot of the old Dragon Ball episodes and even some of the old Z episodes, only a handful, did not have episode recaps. They just jumped right into the action. Some of the more famous Dragon Ball episodes, Dragon Ball Z episodes would be the first Guard Jr. episode and the return of Frieza when he came to Earth with King Cold. They had no episode recaps. So that was cool. But I understood why as the episode progressed. So then we get, basically what happens is Goku, Vegeta, they land on this like cliff, and Goku is recapping the events to Krillin of what happened since Champa's arrival. So this is a problem right here. They literally spent, like I said, about 7, 8, 9 minutes recapping things from 2 episodes ago. I can understand if you're gonna recap shit from the past, like the distant past, but he literally spent all that time explain to Krillin what had happened with Champa, the tournament, everything that happened in episodes 28 and 29, mostly 28. I don't like that. That's bad. Like, that is very, very bad. So if you're going to watch this episode, if you haven't seen it yet, you could literally fast forward halfway through and you won't miss anything. Now, a few of the tidbits that I picked up on that were pretty cool is, Chi-Chi had apparently told 18 that Goku and Vegeta were having a picnic in outer space, when they were training with Beerus and Whis and all that. Yeah, that's what she told him, so that's kind of funny. So, Goku, now here's some very cool, interesting stuff that we got here. Goku and Vegeta talk about Majin Buu being recruited, and they talk about how strong he is. Now, a lot of people have been waiting for this. Oob was actually mentioned. That's right. Oob, okay, I've done videos about this before, but some of the community, I guess people haven't seen them or they don't remember. Oob, at this point, okay, Dragon Ball Super and the Battle of Gods Resurrection F movies, they're meant to take place during the 10-year time skip after after Kid Buu died, before the 28th tournament where Goku meets Oob for the first time at the end of Dragon Ball Z, right? Well, Oob was mentioned, but Oob, essentially what happens is Goku tells Vegeta that he asked Enmadayo or King Yama to resurrect Majin Buu or Kid Buu as a good person. And that's Oob. That's who Oob is. So we have a mention of Oob finally, but if you follow the timeline, even though it's all jacked up, nonetheless, at this point, Oob is like 3-4 years old. Oob is way too young to compete in this tournament. Goku would, of course, go on to meet Oob at the end of the series. So as of right now, some people have speculated that maybe they're going to rewrite the end of Z. It's not happening as of right now. However, there's still timeline issues. Vegeta points out that Gohan has the highest potential out of all of them, which was a line in the Toyotaro manga. So, Goku wants to go and recruit Gohan as well. So they go find Majin Buu, who's hanging out with Mr. Satan. And here's the first big pop for me where they actually kind of turn my frown upside down, so to speak. They find Fat Buu and he's reading Neko Majin. So finally, after all these years, Neko Majin makes an appearance in Dragon Ball. Now, I know a lot of the more casual fans are probably asking, but Geekdom, what the hell is Neko Majin? Well, you can Google search it, of course, or I will be doing a video on Neko Majin very, very soon. Probably next month, maybe the month after. I have to do a little bit of homework on it because that manga is very hard to find. But basically, Neko Majin is a manga that Toriyama did, a parody manga about a cat that was trained by Goku called, Neko Majin. Or Neko, I think his name was. And it's interesting because Toriyama did it as a parody. The character's not really, quote, canon, so to speak, but it's cool that Majin Buu was reading Neko Majin. That was awesome. So then we cut to Beerus devouring cup ramen on some planet with Whis, and then it goes back to the Dragon Ball clip show. We actually see recaps of the Battle of Gods arc with Beerus showing up early, blowing up planets, meeting Goku for the first time, and then we see highlights of the Goku versus Beerus fight, not just the SS3 one, but also the one where Goku was in God form, and it's just recap after recap, clip show after clip show. We see Goku asking Whis for training, and they're talking about Goku being on the team and whatnot, how impressive he is and all this. But it's just, come on, a clip show. I'm not a fan of this. Next week they should be back in a form. So anyways, we go back to Goku and Vegeta, and they're flying, and Goten and Trunks, who still have not aged, by the way, folks, 5 years since the Buu saga, and they still have not aged. They catch up to them. And then another big revelation this episode is that fusion is banned from the tournament. Goten and Trunks want to compete, and Vegeta says fusion is against the tournament rules. I did a video earlier today about tournament rules, and I've added that as a note in the description and in the video, that now fusion is against the tournament rules. So those of you who thought that Gotenks or Gogeta or Vegeta were going to come in this tournament, it's not happening. It's against the rules, okay? We have confirmation of this. So they find Gohan training with Piccolo. Some really good animation here for the training, even though it was only about like a minute. Gohan has his Buu saga hair, his spiky kind of hair, and that's pretty cool. And what I found weird is, why would Gohan train with Piccolo and not like Whis? Like, I figure like if you saw how good Goku and Vegeta got after training with Whis. You saw Vegeta go there for 6 months by himself. Why didn't Gohan just ask Goku, hey, Dad, can you give me, hook me up with Whis so I can give me some training? I don't understand why he want to train with Piccolo and not with Whis. I don't get it. So Gohan actually says he wants to compete. So Pussy Gohan is gone for a little while now. Now he's back to being kind of the old Gohan where he's hungry. And Goku was like, okay, well, the tournament's in 4 days. But Gohan freaks out because he can't go to the tournament because he has to go to a special conference. And this was talked about in the manga, but at least now we have more explanations of what happened here. And Piccolo was then asked to compete. And Piccolo's saying, well, I'm not really strong enough, and Goku still badgers him into it, and they can still train. There's still time to train. So that's good. I mean, there's going to be time to train, of course, because of the other big revelation, which people have been wondering about now, and now we know for a fact, Dende fixed the Room of Spirit and Time, also known as the hyperbolic time chamber in the English dub. So with the time chamber, the Room of Spirit and Time being fixed, we saw in chapter 8 of the manga that Goku, I think it was chapter 7, I forget, chapter 7, we saw Goku and Vegeta train in that, and just like in the manga and the anime, Goku and Vegeta will be training in that room for 3 days. So I guess not only has it been fixed, but it's also been upgraded. So now they can train there for 3 days. Plus they're gods and Goku knows instantaneous movement. So I doubt that they're going to have a problem with the room. So that's pretty cool that the Room of Spirit and Time has been fixed. It was destroyed in the Buu saga. That's good. That's very, very good. I'm very happy about that. It actually kind of makes sense. And we're going to see Goku and Vegeta training there for 3 days, which equals 3 years, which is a long fucking time. So these guys with 3 years worth of training, these guys had better be at least close to Beerus' level at this point, because 3 years is a very, very long time. Right? Right? Do you feel me? Anyways, the episode pretty much ends with Beerus and Whis almost arriving at Monaca's, and that's the guy who they're going to recruit. Next week's episode kind of tricked me. I thought that we had actually seen Bra/Bulma. I thought we had seen her, but we did not. It's actually young Bulma with Jaco. So next week's episode is going to pretty much focus all about Bulma and Jaco, and they're going to go out into space to meet Zuno, which, I mean, I'm going to explain it more next week, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my recap for manga chapter 7, because that talks about Bulma and Jaco meeting Zuno to find out about that mysterious Super Dragon Ball in the center of the universe, the last Super Dragon Ball. So that's coming up next week. It's going to be a Bulma and Jaco episode meeting a brand new character, Zuno, who's supposed to be like the Yoda of the galaxy or something like that, or the universe. Really looking forward to that. It's new content. It's on a clip show. This episode was a wash. I did not like it. Probably top 5 worst episodes ever. Love the Nekomajin reference. Love the new information that we got. But as an episode, as far as entertainment went, it was a fucking clip show. And that's bullshit. I didn't like clip shows when I was a kid watching cartoons. And I sure as shit don't like them as an adult now. So if you're going to watch this episode, fast forward through it if you want. If not, fuck it. Skip to next week or just fast forward to the second half and watch that. Otherwise, it really is a waste of time. They are recapping stuff that we had just seen. It's like, come on. I get them recapping Battle of Gods. Okay, that's fine. They spent way too much time on it. But that's my opinion. I want to know your opinion. Leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you down the road.